My name is Bola Ologunde. I got to know Dr. Vince Reconcilers probably maybe the last 2 years before his departure into glory. And it was by divine coincidence, I would say. Just saw him right in front of the building. And we had a chat. That was my first time of meeting him. In that discussion, somehow we talk about music. And he said, "Do you read music? Do you write music?" I said, "Yes, that's what I do. I studied music." And he was so excited, got off from the vehicle, and he said, "Let's have a proper chat." So we came into the office and we started talking about music. And that's where I got to know that I'm talking to a very, very experienced music composer and director. And he told me he has compositions spanning decades. And the process, he said, he's been in the process of trying to transcribe some of his music. Some of them, he brought out some scores. Some of them have already been transcribed. I looked through them. And he said, will you be able to take up the task that he's not looking for any other person to do this, that he's been on this for so many years. And I thought we're just talking about 2 or 3 musical compositions. And so we got together, and then he initially started with about 2 or 3 of his compositions, and did his transcription, brought it back for him. He was very, very excited that this music has been now properly documented. He was very keen in making sure that the music is written in such a way that it captures precisely what he has in mind. Because he was very much forward-looking, he was much more particular about documenting it in a digital form, in a way that it will be there for prosperity. We went on to not just transcribe 2 or 3 music compositions. That was when the reality dawned on me that I'm dealing with a whole array of musical composition that spans so many decades, and started bringing out compositions that is done in the 80s, thereabouts, and they have been performed. And that was how I got into the project. And what I would say about Dr. Vince Reconcilers is a very, very meticulous person, very extremely hardworking, meticulous. And in the process of working with him, type of technicalities, he pays attention to everything, and it's not in a hurry. It has to be done perfectly. It has to be accurate. But one aspect of that I find very, very interesting about him is his personality. He's such a personality that he's very open-minded. Even when you're working with his own composition, I come up with reasons why we can make some alterations based on musical demands and technicalities. And he's very much open to it. Very, very much open. And I will say, well, yeah, that works. Let's see if it works better. If it works better, then it's good. That's his approach to it. And for that reason, we made some minor adjustments to the compositions, because the compositions they've been done. Some of these compositions have been done in the 80s and 90s, but he wants it to have a contemporary relevance more. And he was forward-looking and saying, what else can we incorporate into this? How can we change the style? We ended up having a very mutual working relationship. Not only that, most times we work on sociable hours, because he's extremely hardworking. I always see him, he's always in the office. So he's on the office, and then at times, even when the challenge of the restriction came up, that people have to be indoors, that we could not practically meet together. Prior to that, I will come to the office and we'll sit down together, get a keyboard, and run through the music. And when I've done this transcription, he wants to hear it back. When you play it for him, it's like bring that nostalgia, that feelings of, oh wow, this is what's going on. And that opens up a lot of stories that he tells me. Within that short period of time, I know so much about him. That's such warm personality that Dr. Vince was. And I got to know many things about her when he got to this country, the challenges that he faced as the beginning of the evolution of the ministry itself, and a lot of people that have been involved. And one other thing is that it's always very, very particular about crediting all those people who have participated in the ministry, in the project. And we have a composition, they will say, now, that is my name, but Mr. A and B contributed this. It must be in the score that we are transcribing. So it's so particular. And I will say, now, this is not my composition. Yeah, but this was composed by this, but I did this and all that. So it will be greatly missed. And the testimony, there is the great legacy that is left behind. Shortly before his passing onto glory, that was just at the onset of the restriction when the COVID pandemic came up. We had the challenge of we are almost at the end. We are just completing the entire composition actually. Most of the scores have been transcribed in digital form. And I was sending it to him to listen to, and he went ahead to say, okay, because the initial task was just me to transcribe, just the bare melody of the song. And he said he wants the harmony, let's do the harmony as well. For those that not be harmonized, he has harmonized some of them. So, and then we went on to do the piano accompaniment. So, which means it's now been taken to a kind of format that's actually a proper lead sheet that anyone can take up and be able to capture the nuances of the song, not just the melody, even the feel of it has now been be preserved for posterity. So we were working online for so many times, but there's a particular time that I had to come over to the office to hand over some of these scores to him, and that happens to be the last time that I saw him, and that was it turns out to be the last discussion we had together. And interestingly enough, that discussion was very profound, and he just showed me, said, I've just completed this book that I've written. It's now going on Amazon. I've completed. I said, wow, you've completed everything. Your compositions are now documented in a digital format. Everything is preserved. He said, yes, everything is done. That was profound. It's as if he's been waiting and working hard to make sure that he concludes this journey in a great way. This was exactly what he did. He said goodbye, and never knew that would be the last time that we'll get to talk. He was such a great person, very amiable personality, very great scholar, highly intellectual, and very, very refined. He will be greatly missed. And what's more importantly, the legacy that he left behind. And I'm so happy that because he laid a very good foundation, so it's very easy to build upon, and that legacy will continue to live on. So I'd like to say happy anniversary to the Reconciler Ministries. I want to tell you to look forward to the compilation of Dr. Vince Owokajo musical compositions, which covers decades and decades of brilliant musical composition and performances. Thank you so much.